Hi everyone, my name is Andreen and today I will show you on how to cook kofta curry. For this mince I used lamb leg mince. You can use sheep mince, but with sheep mince you'll have to cook it slightly longer than lamb. With lamb it's more juicy and more succulent, so naturally lamb is tender, so it doesn't take too long to cook. With the sheep it will take probably 20-25 minutes longer than lamb. So it's up to you what mince you use, but I prefer lamb. To begin with, I'll be putting in dried pomegranate into my machine. It's about 1¼ teaspoon of dried pomegranate. Then I'll be adding in dried coriander. I've put in 1½ teaspoon of dried coriander, crushed. Then I'll be adding in methi, dried methi, also known as fenugreek. I'll be adding in 2 teaspoons. And then I'll be adding in some red chilies. Now you put the red chilies according to your taste. So I've put in about ½ teaspoon of red chilies. Then I'll be adding in some salt. Again, you put salt according to your taste. I'll put in about ½ teaspoon because I'll be having salt in my curry. So you don't want to overpower the salt in your cooking. And then I'll be adding in some garam masala. So I'm adding in about ½ teaspoon of garam masala. Once I've incorporated all my spices together, I'll be grinding it all down just to infuse all the flavours together. Okay, this is what it should be looking like, nice and powdery, and it smells so nice. Okay, the next step, what I've done is I've got a very small bunch of coriander. I've washed it and I've put it into the processor along with 3 green chilies. Okay, my mince is all washed. Now what I'll be doing is adding the coriander and the green chilies into the mince. Okay, now I'll be adding in the spices that are mixed together into the mixture. And now you have to make sure you combine everything really well. The reason I'm adding it in gradually so it gets distributed evenly. Okay, now my mince is ready. I dip my hand in that bowl of water, making sure the palm of my hand is moisturised really well. And then I'll be making the balls. Make sure all the balls are the same size. You can make your koftas a bit bigger than that. I prefer small koftas. One thing I like about these koftas is you can freeze them and use them whenever you fancy cooking the kofta. So you can do your meal preps with the koftas as well. It's a quick and easy way to do your meal preps. So now you've done the mixture. I mean, some people, what they do is they shallow fry it and then they cool them down and then they freeze them. But I prefer freezing them while they're fresh. So that is a good way of freezing something. Okay, now I need to make my gravy. So I've got about 3, 4, 5 onions. So I'll be peeling my onions first. Right, I'm ready to chop my onions. Make sure you put some water in the pot before you chop them. I find my eyes sting less, they don't water as much if I chop them in water. So that's quite a good hack to follow if you always suffer from watery eyes when you cut onions. I mean, there's some people that put glasses on, they put goggles on, forget that. Just put in water and cut your onions and it really helps the eyes. So good hack. So onions are ready, so I'll drain the water out, and now what I'm going to be doing is adding in some salt according to your taste. So now that I've added in the salt, I'm going to be adding in some oil. You don't need to add too much oil that you'll be drowning your onions in oil. 2 serving spoons are more than enough. Okay, once I've added the oil in, I'm going to be switching my gas on. Mix everything together. And once I've done that, I'll be cooking the onions on a medium heat with the lid on. And I've got 1 tomato. 1 tomato is enough. So I've got 1 medium-sized tomato. Just mix that all in, then put the lid on and just let it cook. Okay, so now I've got some garlic and I've got some ginger. So I'm going to be peeling the garlic. I would say that's 1 bulb. I used 1.5 bulb. After this I did get a few more pieces of cloves, garlic cloves. And I'll be using a very small amount of ginger too. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to really crush your ginger. This will go towards the end of your cooking, not at the beginning. I have already washed the garlic and I have added that in. So now what you need to do is you need to really mix the pot really well. This is after 15 minutes of cooking. So you can see the onions are softening up and the tomatoes have already melted. Okay, so now you can put the lid on and come back after 15-20 minutes. Okay, so now I think my onions are ready for the red chilies. So I'm going to add in my chilies. So again, you add in chilies according to your taste. Okay, so my red chilies I've added in consists of red chilies, turmeric powder, tomato powder, paprika powder, and a bit of fenugreek, and a little bit of oil. That is my mixture which I make for every curry, so it's already combined. It's a lot easier rather than putting in everything all separately. Right here you can see that I've added in the koftas very slowly and distributed them evenly across the pot. Okay, what I'm going to be doing now is put the lid on and let them cook on a very low heat. Okay, after about 10 minutes I'll be checking my koftas, and very slowly with a spoon I'm going to turn them over. You should be very gentle with the koftas. Once you turn them all over, very gently you're going to be mixing the gravy. Okay, now I'll be adding in my ginger because I want my ginger to cook in well with the mince. You don't get that smell of the mince. Now with the koftas, you have to cook them really well because you want to cook them right the way through so they're not very pink. So you want your koftas well done. Normally when I make chicken curry, the onions are cooked really well and they're very soft and more liquidy, and then I add the chicken in. With the koftas, I keep my onions slightly less mashier because I cook the koftas for a very long time, so the onions will melt anyway. So very gently with a wooden spoon, just stir the gravy so it doesn't touch base the bottom too much. Be very gentle. And please cook on a medium heat. Whatever you do, don't cook on a high heat because you'll be cooking the outside really well, but the inside you won't cook it properly. So you want the inside cooked really well. Okay, now I've added in some garam masala and a bit of coriander too, dried coriander. Now I'm going to be adding in some dried methi, that's fenugreek, and mix that really well. Okay, so now I've washed a bit of coriander and some green chilies. I'll be adding that in. So 2 green chilies. Make sure you make a slit in the middle of your green chilies before you add your coriander and your chilies. Right, my koftas are cooked very well, so now I need to add in some water. So you put enough water to cover your koftas, because if you're having it with rice or naan, you want it quite soupy. But if you prefer thick, you don't need to add in too much water. Now that you've added in the water, mix it really well and put the flame on high heat and leave the lid on it for 5 minutes. And once the oil has come to the top, you lower your heat down and you let it cook for, I'll say, about 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes on a very low heat. Okay, now you need to put the lid on the pot. So this is what I mean when the oil comes to the top. This is what it should be looking like. So it should be bubbling like that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put the lid back on and leave it on very low heat just to let it simmer and let the water infuse through the flavours of your pot. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope you really enjoyed my video. Kofta curry is one of my favourite curries of all. I absolutely love kofta curry. But with the kofta curry, you don't have to eat it like a curry. What you could do is you can always add in dalmia sauce into your kofta curry. So instead of adding in the boiling water, you add in your dalmia sauce, any sauce that you prefer, for your pasta or spaghetti. So once you've added the sauce in, you mix it really well and you just let it cook for about 5 minutes, so the sauce is really incorporated well within the curry. I tell you, the aromas are unbelievable with this recipe. And once you've cooked that, boil some spaghetti, boil some pasta, and just add that in. You can mix it or you can just add it into the top. It's perfect for packed lunches, if you're a working mum, dad, if you've got kids going to school. This is a really good recipe to follow. What you could do is, once you made the kofta curry, don't add in the water. You can even cut your koftas in half and add them into sandwiches too. So there is a lot you can do with this recipe. So I hope you really enjoyed my video, and please give my video a like, thumbs up, and I would love to see you guys replicate this video and just tell me what you think about the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.